Hey, so you're getting your services online, you're trying to be competitive, you want to put a good product out there. You've either tried Zoom and haven't figured out the sound, haven't figured out the video quality, or you're using Facebook where you're not charging and you're doing everything for free and you can't tell who's signing into your class and who isn't, and there's no interaction, so you can't really engage your clients. One of the biggest things that you've got to get dialed in, because it's probably the most in your control and it's probably the cheapest to improve right away, and that's the audio, okay? In this video, we're going to go over the configuration that I'm using at the gym. We're going to give you some pointers and some tips on how you can make your service just 1,000 times better than what you're doing right now. And let's get to it. All right, guys, so you're ready to level up your sound. You're looking for the goods. What do you need to do? It all starts with a mixer, okay? So now the purpose of a mixer is that you're going to have multiple channels, multiple streams of information. And this point, it's going to be sound and music and your voice. And the mixer brings those together, allows you to tweak and control how they sound, and then sends them out one path. That is your clients, so you're sending it out through the web, or you've got your local version that you can listen to, which is your monitors or your speakers. So the first mixer we're going to look at, I'm going to show you a short video of mine, just a clip of the setup I have here at the gym. It's way overpowered. You're not going to need that for a home studio, but I wanted to show you how very similar setup, just a little bit broader, okay? The one we're looking at today is the Xenix Q802 USB. USB, why that's important is that this thing's going to have the connection to my computer, and it's going to do it through USB. The mixer allows me to connect my wireless mic, so if you have the mic on hand already, either by Shure or some of the other wireless providers, we use the Shure mic here, the professional one. It uses an XLR connection, so the XLRs come into the inputs. I'll put a diagram together so that you guys can see how to configure this thing. But one input goes to the XLR. You do have the option for a 3/4 jack. The difference in those two, so 3/4 jack, just like it sounds, versus the XLR, which is this 3-prong plug. Now the mic itself, the transmitter and the receiver combo, they are going to come with an XLR cable. That's going to go right here. The other one is that you're going to bring your audio into the mixer itself through two of those 3/4 jacks. There's a 3/4, which is the long one, goes down to the 3/8, which is typically the small little jack that comes with your iPhones or your Droids. That's where your source is going to be. You can use either an iPad or your iPhone, but those are going to come into the mixer. From the mixer, the USB is going to be picked up by Zoom. That's what it's going to detect as your source. You're not going to have to go into Zoom itself and actually figure out which one's your mic and which one's your music. It's going to blend them together. That's the cool part about having the mixer. The other thing that you're going to want to have close by, it's a small studio, so you don't need to invest a whole lot. It's just a pair of monitors. You need a pair of speakers so that you can hear what you're putting out, and you can hear, if you've got two-way capability, you can hear what your class is saying to you, all right? There's a dozen different ways you can use this same device for different sound. It doesn't have to be one or the other. As long as you've got those input options, you have at least one or two XLR cables, you have one or two 3/4 inch jacks. I'll put all the parts down here in the video so that you know where to go. You can connect pretty much anything. The next piece though, and this is the one that most people kind of goof up on, is this secret setting that you need in Zoom. And if you don't have a reason to do this, if you're not a musician on Zoom, you would have no reason to go figure this out. So check this out. Let's go over to the Zoom piece. All right guys, so here we are. We're in Zoom now. I've already started my meeting. And before my class begins or before my session begins, I want to come in here and I want to make the changes to the audio piece. So I'll go ahead and I'll walk through it with my setup now. So you've got this little upward arrow. That's going to take you into the advanced settings. So from here, the microphone, we go into audio settings. And then down here at the bottom, we have advanced. Okay, so once you jump into the advanced, this is where all the magic happens. I mean, you've got the mixer, you've got the audio inputs, your music's on point. The way Zoom is set up is that it is configured for meetings. It's configured to cut out background noise, the air conditioner, the person talking in the corner. It's meant to drown all that stuff out. And while you're talking and there's gaps between when you speak and then the music picks up, Zoom's kind of confused at the way that happens, so it starts cutting you out all over the place. And all of a sudden now it sounds choppy. And it sounds like the music is competing with your voice. But when you come in here and you set this up, so you've got suppressed persistent background noise and then intermittent background noise, you want these disabled. So even though we can go to the top here and check that box, I'll come up to it in a second. Show in meeting options, so I disabled these two. Echo cancellation can stay auto, that's fine, but show in meeting option to enable original sound. That means we want what comes out of the mixer to sound exactly the way it's leaving. We don't want Zoom to play around with our sound at all. Just give it to the members and the people that are listening the way it is. Once you've got that done, you're going to see something now pop up in the top left corner of your session. Turn off original sound. That, by implication, says that it's on right now, so you'd have to actually select to turn it off. But original sound is where it should be. It's what it should say. And make sure here, I'm talking on the Yeti, so my source would be this. On the mixer, you're actually going to see the name of your USB device. So if you're using that Behringer device that we talked about, the one that I've got in my screenshot of my gym, they'll show up here as a USB input option. So for now, I'm using the Yeti. That's what it would be. So you would point that to the USB device. Once you get that set up, this is where everything's going to really start to sound great. The voice and the audio are going to come out together. You'll actually hear the audio just underneath your voice instead of it's one or the other and it constantly cutting out. If you've got those set up, you have really found the magic sauce for getting great sound out of your session. All right, guys, so that's it. That's as easy as it gets. I tried to simplify this thing as much as possible. So there's only a couple steps that you guys have to do to get great sounding audio through your Zoom if that's the platform that you're using. The Behringer and those Samson speakers, I picked those up each for about $100 each off of Adorama. They shipped pretty quick, reasonable price. I went for the first thing that I found that was around $100 because I tried putting something together that was affordable. If you already own the wireless mic, that's going to cut a major cost out, because that's something where if you can afford to, you probably want to spend a little bit more on the mic so that you get better quality, better bandwidth, and you're not going to deal with, just some cross signaling issues that you might have with other equipment in your space. I am going to include a diagram. It's just a real cheesy diagram below so you can see how I configured these with the testing that I had done on my end. I'll have links to those products if you wanted to go out and buy those there. You can probably find them cheaper on Amazon if they've got them in stock. But you don't have to heavily invest. And remember, if you are in a home studio, the Samson speakers that we talked about, they're low end. If you're looking to start teaching in a broader space, more volume, more people, then you're going to want to invest a little bit more into a powered speaker. Those Samsons are powered, which means they've got a dedicated plug. You don't have to actually go on high end where the equalizer is built into the speaker. I like that the pieces are separate so that if one fails, you can actually just buy that one piece instead of having to replace your entire kit. All right, so good luck with this, guys. Interested in hearing how you did, and any feedback is always welcome. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care.